Okay, so just picked up this 75 Duster, pretty much all original, slant 6, automatic. It's tagged and registered, and I'm gonna try to drive it 2 hours back to the desert from San Diego. So yeah, let's see what happens. Let's do it. Good morning, guys. Hope you're doing good. New project in the shop. It's right in front of me. Let's check it out. Yeah, so this is a car that my dad would use the word cream puff. I don't know where he got that word, but as far as I know, it kind of just describes a car that is just not like exactly the most hot rodded, hopped up version of the car, the top of the trim line, but just a good example of a car that survived the test of time, and it's just kind of been left alone, and it's just what the designers intended. It has been messed with, the wiring hasn't just been torn apart, the engine has, it's just exactly what you would see someone driving back in the 70s. It is just slant 6, automatic on the column, just, you know, you get a heater, but it's a dependable car. And this is, you know, all the muscle cars and stuff are cool, but this is really what people drove back then, and I like it for that. So yeah, 75, I'm not sure when the Duster did stop production. I know this is toward the end. You know, the 70, 71, 72 Dusters are the hottest ones, the most muscly ones. They got the baddest grille, the coolest colors and stuff. And then they kind of started to, mostly this is exactly like that, but the hood and kind of the grille by 75, they kind of started to kind of grandma it up, kind of, you know, box it up, and it kind of lost a little bit of the edge, but it still looks good. Very good looking car. It's a totally rust-free California car. This car is from San Francisco, not where I picked it up, but it is from San Francisco. And actually on the front bumper, and the guy told me this, it has a parking permit. So it was like I think like a airport shuttle car. He said it was. You can even see it right there. B&H Motors, San Francisco. We got the original plates on it still. It just has all the things, everything's right about it, you know what I mean? It's just been a car that's been either kept in a carport or garage. You know, it's not all sun damaged. The dash, the interior is really nice. Yeah, it's, you know, it's got the little, you know, bumper strip on the side of it. Someone did change the hubcaps out for what I think are the cooler Dodge ones, the dog dish hubcaps. Yeah, it's got a lock-on gas cap, which probably is original, but I don't have a good history with the lock. But you know what? This one I actually have the key for, so it's okay. Yeah, just, I mean, this is like literally the worst of the little surface rust spots. Interior super nice. The dash, it's all just pretty much looks brand new. Just the vinyl on the seat's nice, but you know, the wear and tear on the fabric, it's kind of started to rip up. And this isn't carpet, it is a matte. So it's a pretty bare, you know, kind of probably the bottom of the line Duster you could get. I mean, you know, the wood grain's not peeling up, the paint's not all, you know, peeled up. Someone did add a radio at one point. And these don't have a headliner, they just have kind of like a roof mat deal, which is pretty nice. You don't have to deal with the headliner bows popping out and stuff. A little tear there, but that's it. Yeah, all the glass is perfect. Leather strip's even pretty good. Yeah, so the guy tied a fishing string on here. This is how he'd lock it, because he didn't have any lock cylinders to lock it with. So he would just put a club on the steering wheel that wouldn't even lock it, just for looks. He'd roll the window up, shut the door, and then he'd have this little fishing line hanging off the window. And in the morning, he'd just come out, yank that up, pull up the lock, and you'd get in and get going. So another interesting thing that the guy did was he knew that you pull this knob here to pop the hood open, but he didn't, I guess, understand that all you have to do now to get the safety latch off is there's a little, you know, I'm sure you guys even know, just a little, you know, tab here. You just pull up and you open the hood. Well, he didn't understand that, so he thought something was broken. So he tied a wire around the safety latch and would then put his hand in here and pull the wire. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. The guy was a little funny, but yeah. So 225 slant 6, exactly what was in the Dart project car, and it's all there. You know, it's kind of funny. If you guys watch the Dart video, it is very bare bone. You can see every part of the engine, but by 75, you get all these, You know, the 75 in California is pre-smog. It's the last year that you don't have to smog a car, but they still did come with smog equipment. So it's got all these hoses and stuff, and they give you the vacuum diagram and stuff. The guy also took the wiper motor out because the bushing arms had broken and stuff, so I got new ones of those coming in, so I'm going to throw the wiper motor back on there. Also going to go ahead and adjust the valves. They're making some noise, and on these slant sixes you actually have to adjust them. Not a big deal, I already got the gasket for it, so I'll knock that out. It cools good, you know, it just runs good. It's a slant six. I mean, these things are, you know, just known for being dependable and lasting forever. It just hasn't been messed with, which is just so cool to me. So yeah, gonna maybe see about straightening that trim out a little bit or getting a new trim for it. I mean, really, I call it a project, but there's really not a lot to do on it. I drove it all the way home, 2 hours from San Diego. Never noticed it, but the next morning I go out and the gas tank was leaking. It's actually got a puncture in it. It's got a crack. So you know, I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna have to get a gas tank, but you know, the sending unit's good and everything, because you know, if you're gonna replace a gas tank, you might as well do the sending unit. I was just like, I don't know if I want to do that, and it's the original tank. So I bought some JB Weld special fuel tank, like a putty. So I'm gonna try that out, then I can save the original tank and, you know, seal it up. So I'm gonna try that out first, see if that works. It's just a cool survivor, you know, car. It's not the, you know, the most desirable year duster, but I think what makes it desirable is that it's just completely original. You know, I mean, look at that paint. That's original paint, and it just looks great. So today I want to seal up the fuel tank and adjust the valves. That's kind of number one what I want to do. I'm still waiting for the lock cylinders. Oh, and I also got a new marker light for that side. And yeah, that's kind of it for now. So I haven't even put it up on the lift yet, so I'm gonna pull it in, put it on the lift, and I think we'll tackle the fuel tank first. So let's get rolling. All right, got this thing up. Let's check it out. Got the splash guard on it still. Typical grease and oiliness for a 50-year-old car. Yeah, these actually have a catalytic converter on them. Starting to do the whole smog thing. I knew there must have been a few holes in the muffler just because I could kind of hear it. So here is the leak. See, it's right there. So I don't know how that happened. Yeah, pretty standard A body. Looks pretty much how I thought it would look. So yeah. Okay, so let's seal that tank up. Okay, so here is the tank weld. It's like a putty, and obviously it should be dry. The tank should be, you know, totally empty and dried out and everything. But don't really want to do all that. And I read a bunch of comments of people online that said they literally just threw it on while the crack was just pouring out and sealed it up fine. So I'm gonna try that first. I have enough to do it again if I need to, if it does leak. So I'm gonna just clean up a little bit, and then we'll throw this putty on there and pray that it seals it up, and then I can call that good. Okay, so it took 2 attempts, but as of right now, it is not leaking anything. Once the JB Weld started to kind of harden up and cure a little more, it seemed to kind of stop the leak more. I kind of work it into the crack a bit, but I haven't seen anything coming out, and I've been looking at it non-stop for probably 5 minutes now. But yeah, so just gonna let that sit. Gonna stay away from this area just to let it sit and cure for the next hour. But anyway, we are gonna be up here because actually I'm gonna put the car down. I am going to set the valves, adjust those. So let's put it down, pop that valve cover off, and adjust the valves. Let's do it. so yeah, I had a bit of clatter before, so let's start it up, let it warm up, and see how it drives. So the clatter's gone now. It sounds pretty good. It's starting to warm up now. Thing is nice now. It was nice before, but without that clatter, and I think this definitely got it some more horsepower is going too. Just has everything kind of running just better. If it weren't for those few holes in the exhaust, this thing would be silent, and they're not too bad. But yeah, this thing with the muffler on would just be totally, I was like wondering when I was walking back up to it if it was even on. With that gas leak, I'm not sure how long it's been, how much gas has leaked out, so the fuel tank isn't reading, but yeah, this thing's nice. Yeah, so engine's running good, tank is sealed up, not leaking anymore. So really, I'm just waiting for parts now. So the lock cylinders, the marker light, something else I'm forgetting, but yeah, so just waiting for those orders to come in, and then we'll continue on the Duster. All right, so today should be the final day. I'm really messing with this car. All the lock cylinders changed out, did the wiper motor. I was actually still missing another wiper linkage arm, so I couldn't get that working, both wipers working. So one wiper is connected to the motor, so the motor's good. I just don't know where the previous owner, what happened there. I don't know where the other arm is. So gonna put up on the lift, change the oil, put fresh oil in it, and then it's gonna just be cleaning up the car. Hit it with a correction compound with the buffer, and then hit it with just a finishing wax, and then I think the car's gonna look pretty good. Clean up the interior a little bit, clean up the tires, and make it look as good as I can. But yeah, so let's put this thing up on the lift, get the oil changed, and then get to cleaning it up. Let's do it. All right, oil changed, running good. Before I rinse it off, just to get any dust off before I start using the clay bar and everything, start getting the paint ready, I'm gonna go with some CLR cleaner to see how good I can take care of some of this just little, you know, rust spackling around. So yeah, let's do it. to this one really. It was kind of just an easy car to kind of get back to a good spot, you know, just kind of stuff a lot of 50-year-old cars can't say they have working on them works on this one. It just kind of has been taken care of. You know, when things quit working, they probably got replaced, and just, you know, the thing was kind of kept going and taken care of. So I mean, this is kind of what you get after, you know, 50 years of good ownership. Just a car that is kind of pretty much how it would have looked even back then, really. I mean, no one really, other than the radio someone put in it, no one really did anything to this car. I mean, someone just, every time someone got it, they just liked how it was and just kept it how it was. And, you know, this is what you get after 50 years of that. So I'm really impressed with this car. I've never had my hands on a car really this original and in this good of shape. So it was really cool to kind of see everything. You know, I kind of felt like a guy in the 70s who worked at a Mopar dealer, like Chrysler, Dodge, Plymouth dealer, who just got one of these in that needed, like, you know, valve adjustment or something. Like, this thing was just really in good shape, and I'm kind of a sucker for that. I just love stuff original. It's kind of how I am. So yeah, so by the time this video's up, this car is either sold or for sale. So if you are interested in it, I'm in the SoCal area. I'll leave my email and just ways you can contact me below in the comment section. So yeah, reach out to me if you're interested in it. This is a really cool original car. You know, it being a slant 6 doesn't really knock any of that. You know, if it was a slant 6 and it was in really rough condition, yeah, that'd be different. But I mean, this is a car you wouldn't want to rip the slant 6 out of. I mean, it's just so it's really awesome. Yeah, so I will see you guys next time.